Back here in West Virginia, we are minutes away here from tip-off of WVU Coliseum here as the Bowling Green Falcons take on the West Virginia Mountaineers. Here are the starting fives. First for the orange and brown, Amy Velasco, Janae Donahue, Paige Kohler, Taya Ellis, and Erica Porter runs up the starting five for Bowling Green. An unchanged starting five so far this season for head coach Fred Shamil in his second season with the orange and brown. And for the West Virginia Mountaineers, for their starting five, they start with Sydney Shaw, Jordan Harrison, J.J. Quinnerly. We'll have more on her in just a little bit. Kaya Watson and Kylie Blackston runs out the starting five for West Virginia. For J.J. Quinnerly, before the season started, she was the Naismith Women's College Basketball Player of the Year watch list and also the Ann Myers Drystar Shooting Guard of the Year preseason watch list. So a couple big recognitions for her preseason. She's been an excellent player all season long so far, averaging 17.3 points per game, averaging 26 minutes played, has shot only 6 for 22 from three, but all of those threes have been in crucial moments, has made 15 out of 17 free throws, as a pure scorer for West Virginia. As now they're starting their intros here for the Mountaineers. Kaya Watson also started all 33 contests last year after a transfer from South Dakota. She's one of the big key players to watch for West Virginia as well. Watson is a very, very good rebounder, especially defensively. 27 rebounds out of 38 have came defensively, including 11 rebounds as well. She's also averaging 5.5 points as well, and also has 12 steals to go along with it. Two very key players for the number 13 ranked Mountaineers that are going to look to make their impact from the opening whistle in this one. For the Bowling Green Falcons, it's hard to talk about key players without talking about Amy Velasco. But before we talk about Amy Velasco and our key players for the Falcons, we'll take a quick break for station identification.
I'm BGSU graduate Jason Jackson from the Miami Heat, and you're listening to WBGU 88.1 FM, your home for BGSU women's basketball.
Back here after station identification, our Mountaineer just shot up a little firework into the stands as WVU runs out onto the court. But let's stick with Bowling Green after this one. It's hard to talk about our key players of the game without talking about Amy Velasco. Velasco, just named today, was the MAC Player of the Week. She led the Falcons in scoring last week, averaging about 25 points per game. On this season, she's averaging 20.3 points per game. She shot 50% from three. She's for 18 for 16. She's been one of the best players on the floor for Bowling Green this season, one of the floor generals, one of the leaders for head coach Fred Shamil, as she will be so far this year, but also will be all season long. Another key player to go out for, we're going to go with the freshman. We're going to go with Janae Donahue, a player that is the only freshman that has been starting for Bowling Green, a freshman from Fort Wayne, Indiana. Donahue has been spectacular defensively to start this season, especially in getting steals and getting points off of turnovers. She's very aggressive defensively, likes to get in the face of the opponent, and is very good defensive inside the paint. So that's another player for Bowling Green to watch for this game if they want to pull off what could be one of their biggest wins, and not only in the Fred Shamil era, but one of their biggest wins in recent memory. For West Virginia, this is a program that last season had a very successful season, finished 25-8 overall last season. That included 12-6 in the Big 12. They were 14-2 last season here at home. Won their first tournament game against Princeton, but lost in the second round of the NCAA tournament to a team that I think a lot of people might know. They're the number 2 seed Iowa, and to Caitlin Clark. I don't know if you heard of them before. That's who they lost to end their season. So they're a team that is competing into the Big 12 championship once again this season, and is going to be a threat come NCAA tournament time. Moments away here from tip-off. Look around this Coliseum, one of the most historic arenas here at West Virginia. Look at the numbers. Retired looking around, Jerry West, retired number 44, Hot Rod Hundley. Number 33, retired number Rod Thorne, retired number 44, and many others that are plastered around this arena with all these historic players, both men and women, that made their marks in the pro world, both the NBA, the WNBA, as well. Well, let's wait from tip-off here. Blackstein and Porter on this one. Ball in the air. Porter wins this one for the Orange and Brown. We are underway here in West Virginia. Jamie Velasco will start this possession for Bowling Green. Here's Donahue. Set the offense here for Bowling Green, going from left to right on your radio dial. West Virginia going from right to left. Bowling Green, and they're all away orange. West Virginia, and they're all home white. Here's Donahue to Velasco, top of the key. Shot clock down to 5, hands one up to Donahue. Shot clock down to 3, out to Kohler. Shot clock now down to 1. Now Kohler going to jack off a shot. That one's going to be no good, so the first empty possession comes up for Bowling Green. Here's Sydney Shaw the other way for the Mountaineers. Shaw works inside, kicks this one out to Harrison. Harrison drives inside. Harrison gets past Kohler. That shot no good. Offensive rebound from Watson. Watson kicks this one back out to Shaw. Here's Shaw again, drive inside past Kohler, and Sydney Shaw gets West Virginia's first points of the night. So 2-0 now West Virginia with 9 minutes left to play here in the first. A little bit of high press here from West Virginia to start. Velasco gets his one to Kohler. Now back to Velasco, top of the key. Here's Ellis. Ellis works left wing to Donahue. Donahue finds baseline to Ellis. Ellis drives underneath the basket. Ellis there trying to finish with the right king out on the go. Rebounded from Erica Porter. Porter puts that one up to tie the game at 2 apiece. So 2-2, 8:33 left to play here in the first. Erica Porter with the first points for Bowling Green. A drive inside the lane is good. So now 4-2 West Virginia. That was Harrison there for West Virginia on that basket. Here's Kohler back the other way for Bowling Green. Kohler works inside, now goes to the left to Donahue. Donahue. Kohler, baseline to Porter. Porter now drives inside, works to the paint. Erica Porter there finishes off the glass and in. Erica Porter has 4 points early in this one. So 4 apiece now, under 8 minutes to play in the first. Drive inside. Was Kaya Watson there, was last touch off Watson. It'll be a Bowling Green possession. Velasco, a little bit of full court press here early on for West Virginia. Velasco takes his one off to Porter. There's Kohler. Velasco, defended by Quinn Early. Hands this one off to Porter there. And a timeout going to be taken here early by head coach Fred Shamil on the Bowling Green Falcons. So early here for the Orange and Brown. 7:35 left to play here in the first quarter. Bowling Green 4, West Virginia 4. Tie game here early in the first. This timeout is sponsored by Juniper Brewing Company. You can find the latest menu at juniperbrew.com. So timeout with head coach Fred Shamil. We'll take it with them. You're listening to BGSU Women's Basketball. Take on the number 13 West Virginia Mountaineers here on WBGU 88.1 FM.
BGSU men's soccer capped off the regular season with 4 players earning end-of-the-season awards in the Missouri Valley Conference. Kyle Cusimano earned the MVC Defensive Player of the Year award, as well as a spot on the All-MVC first team, leading the defensive unit to significant improvement through the season that led the Falcons to 4 shutouts in the last 9 games. Forward Trace Terry earned his first spot on the All-MVC first team, while his goal-scoring partner Bennett Painter made the All-MVC second team, and they scored 11 and 12 regular season goals, respectively. Lastly, graduate students Alberto Anaya and Brendan Graves earned spots on the All-MVC teams. This has been 60 Seconds in Falcon Athletics.
Back here in West Virginia as the Falcons taking on the number 13 seed Mountaineers. Early here in the first quarter, 7:35 left to play here in the first. Bowling Green 4, West Virginia 4. Tie game here early in the first. Welcome back inside the broadcast. I'm Luke Clymer. Thank you so much for joining us for your Tuesday evening. So early in this one, Bowling Green shooting 50% from the floor, 2 for 4. West Virginia shooting 67 for 2 for 3. Been an early start to this one. Been a pretty good start offensive for both sides. We're getting ready to come back out for the start. After an earlier timeout taken by Fred Chimio as Bowling Green was setting up their offense there, didn't like what he saw. Was forced to take a quick timeout there, get his team right, get his team reset. Heading back into this one. This is a West Virginia squad who has outscored their opponents 70-44 in the first quarter so far this season. This is also a West Virginia side that is coming off, that right now is 4-0 this season. And it's coming off a pretty big win against Texas A&M, 83-62. Look, before that, they had a big win against Pittsburgh, 82-54, and had a massive win against Niagara, 110-41. They started the season 85-41 over Townsend. So, I've already been a couple of tough opponents. So 14 seconds on the shot clock here for Bowling Green as we resume play. Amy Velasco will inbound this one to Kohler. Here's Velasco again, top of the key. Guarded by Harrison. And Velasco inside the Porter. Shot clock down the three. Porter and travel called on the Falcons. So the turnover on Erica Porter. And here comes West Virginia, come back the other way. Shaw works inside. Harrison kicks his one to Blackston. Outside of Harrison. Harrison dribbles inside with Velasco. Harrison drives to the right. Can't get one to fall. Contact underneath the basket. And Harrison will go to the line. Amy Velasco will be tagged with this foul. This will be her first foul of the contest. So Harrison will go to the charity stripe for the first time tonight for West Virginia. And that first one falls, so making it now 5-4 Mountaineers. Harrison so far this season, now 26 of 28 from the free throw line. That make it 26-29, misses that one, but gets her own rebound. Still 5-4. West Virginia is still alive. Quinnerly out to the left. Harrison now tries a deep three. Harrison knocks that one down. So the first three-pointer made. This contest goes to the Harrison and the Mountaineers. 8-4 West Virginia. 6:50 left to play here in the first. Kohler. Here's Velasco. Velasco works right wing. Here's Donahue. To the left wing. Still to the left. Kohler now works all the way to the right. Here's Velasco. Shot clock winding down again for Bowling Green. Down to 5. Velasco drives inside. Velasco makes a nice move inside, and Amy Velasco finishes there with the left. That's Velasco's first points of the contest. Now 8-6 West Virginia. Here's Shaw. Harrison back the other way for West Virginia. Moving inside. Throws this one to Watson, and Donahue with some contact. She'll get called for the foul here underneath the basket. So that'll be Johnny Donahue's first personal foul. And now Watson will go to the free throw line for the first time this game. Watson also somebody who doesn't go to the free throw line often. 2 for 5 before that one. Make it 3 for 6, so 50% on the season from the charity stripe. Now 9-6 West Virginia. Looking at the double digits. Can't get that one. So 1 for 2 tripped here for Watson and the Mountaineers. Still 9-6. A little bit of a full court press for West Virginia. Turnover from Velasco trying to get the one to Ellis, and it was picked off by Shaw, and they get the one to fall. 11-6 now West Virginia. Ellis. Here's Kohler. Kohler hands this one off to Donahue. Donahue moves inside towards the left wing. Now outside again to Kohler. Kohler inside to Ellis. Shot clock winding down again, down to 5. Ellis there takes a shove in the back from Watson, and a foul will be called. So that'll be Watson, her first personal foul. Bowling Green will still have possession. Velasco inbounds this one by the baseline. Kohler to Donahue. Donahue, screen set from Porter. Donahue now drives around. Donahue looking to find an option. Gives this one to Ellis. Has 3 Mountaineers players around her. Out to Kohler. Shot clock winding down again. Kohler puts up a shot, no good. Rebounded from Erica Porter, who puts it up and in. So Erica Porter is now up to 6 points on the night. 11-8 West Virginia with 5:08 left to play here in the first. Drive inside West Virginia. A wide open three in the corner from Shaw. That one won't fall. Rebounded here from Watson. Blackston, Harrison. Out to Shaw again. Quick passing here outside the perimeter for West Virginia. Tipped away from Donahue. And into the hands of Velasco. So turnover created here from Bowling Green. Backdoor pass from Velasco to find Paige Kohler. And Kohler gets that one to fall. And the lead is cut down to just one. 11-10 West Virginia. Paige Kohler now getting on the score sheet. Donahue and Harrison there towards the right wing. See who this last touched off of. They're saying Donahue. So West Virginia will take over 22 left on the shot clock. Our officials will stop play. And we'll have to mop up a slippery spot. Ball inbound back to Harrison. Harrison Watson now pass inside to find Quinnerly, who we haven't called her name much. But Quinnerly has her first points of this contest. 13-10 West Virginia. Here's Ellis. Low pump fake gets his one to Kohler. Now Kohler drives inside with the left. Paige Kohler! Tough finish, and the sophomore from Olmsted Falls knocks that one down. 13-12 lead, cut down to just one. A three-pointer on the way from Blackston. That one no good. And a rebound hold in from Ellis. Here comes Bowling back the other way. Under 4 minutes of play here in the first. Velasco into the right corner to Kohler. Kohler. Shot clock down to 15, works top of the key, out to Donahue to the left. Donahue guarded by Harrison. Screen set from Porter. Donahue works inside. Shot clock now to single digits, and Donahue works inside. Puts up a shot and is fouled. We'll get Jordan Harrison on this one. So shot clock will reset, and Donahue will go to the charity stripe for the first time tonight. 13-12, West Virginia with 3:33 left to play here in the first. Donahue going to the free throw line. Donahue is 5 for 8 from the free throw line so far this game. And before she can take hers, first change made of this one, Kendall Moxie, coming out for her best game in a Falcon uniform so far, will come in for Erica Porter. You'd have to assume in that 5 spot. Donahue's attempt hits back off the back of the rim and no good. So Donahue now is 5 for 9 on the season from the free throw line. Chance to make it a 1 for 2 trip. And she does. Nothing but net there as Donahue ties this one up at 13 all. So tie game 13 apiece with 3:30 left to play in the first. Here's Harrison to the left, guarded by Kohler. Harrison gives us one. First change made for West Virginia. And as that chance there was up and no good. That was Jordan Thomas for West Virginia putting that one up. Thomas checked in for West Virginia. Cecilia Rivera, also another change coming in for West Virginia as well. The first attempt there from Thomas is no good, so it remains tied. Second attempt, and that one rolls in and out again. So an 0 for 2 trip there from Thomas. And Bowling Green now has an offensive possession to take the lead. Kohler to Donahue. Kohler. Velasco. Guarded by Harrison. Screen set from Moxley. Kohler inside to Moxie. Moxie, shot clock down to 6. Moxie bounce pass, hands off to Donahue. Donahue works inside. Donahue puts up a tough shot. That one can't fall and can't hold in the offensive rebound. Quinnerly and the Mountaineers come back the other way. Quinnerly. Rivera to Watson. Watson top of the key, hands this one off to Thomas. Thomas hands this one off. Quinnerly. Screen set from Watson. Quinnerly moves inside. Quinnerly, tough shot, too much there. Held in by Ellis on the rebound. Ellis will drive. Ellis will take it herself. Ellis guarded by Rivera. And travel is going to be called on Ellis. Taya Ellis will come off after being called for the travel. Erica Porter will check back in. So up the court, this one is Harrison. Top of the key, Rivera. Back out to the right wing, Harrison. Guarded by Velasco. Pass it underneath the rim for Watson. Can't get on the fall initially. That second chance can't win on the fall. Moxie can hold in the rebound. It'll still be West Virginia ball with 20 on the shot clock and 2 left to play here in the first. So a little bit of a dry spell for both teams. West Virginia now have a scoring drought of 2 minutes and 13 seconds. Trying to break that one here. Harrison inbounds this one to Quinnerly. Quinnerly, a tough shot over Moxie, and Quinnerly gets a one to fall off the backboard and in. So 15-13, a 2-point lead now for West Virginia. Porter. Long pass all the way to the left wing to Donahue. Velasco. Velasco surveys top of the key. Shot clock now down to 10. Minute 43 left to play here in the first quarter. Donahue trying to find this one to Porter. Whistle blown. And the foul is going to be called on Thomas. That's going to be Thomas. That will be Thomas' second personal foul of this one. Here's Kohler. And then this one, Velasco. Velasco trying to find this one to Porter. Double team underneath with Rivera and Thomas, and it's going to be last off of Porter, and it'll be West Virginia ball. Here's Harrison up the court with some steam. Harrison works inside on Velasco. Harrison there, easy drive. That one rolls out, rebounded by Moxie. Here's Velasco. We have a minute 10 left to play here in the first quarter. 15-13 West Virginia. Velasco with the ball. Top of the key. Velasco trying to find this one inside of Moxie. Guarded by Rivera to the right wing. Moxie. And just one back off to Porter. Porter out to top of the key. Donahue. Donahue works inside. Shot clock now down to 2. Got to put up a shot for Bowling Green. Moxie does. Moxie gets it the fall for her first points of the game. We're tied at 15 apiece. With 45 seconds left to play here in the first, it's 15 all. And Donahue picks that one away from Quinnerly initially. Quinnerly gets the ball back. Donahue almost created a steal there. Quinnerly drives inside. Quinnerly, that one ricochets in and out, rebounded from Thomas. Guarded by 3 Falcons, puts a shot up and is fouled. We'll see who they tag this one on Bowling Green. They're going to get Erica Porter on this one. So Moxie will come out for Ellis. So 5 on the floor for Bowling Green is Porter, Ellis, Kohler, Velasco, and Donahue. 5 for West Virginia is Watson, Rivera, Thomas, Woodley, who's checked in for the first time this game, and Quinnerly. First attempt here from Thomas. Ricochets in and off the backboard and in. 16-15 now West Virginia. Second one. That one can't fall. Ellis crashing for the rebound. That one ricochets out. Bowling Green will take over. 16-15 West Virginia with 27.1 seconds left to play here in the first. Here's Kohler. Kohler bounce pass to Velasco. Velasco to Kohler out to the right wing. That's top of the key. Velasco. Shot clock is off. Velasco to the left. Velasco moves inside to Porter. Porter loses the ball. Grabs the ball, but now is going to be called for the foul. A loose ball on the floor that Porter dived on. Now Bowling Green's actually going to be charged for the foul. So Porter's going to come out for Moxie. That's going to be Porter's now second personal foul. That's not what you want to see for the Falcons. Just 1 quarter in this one. So here's Harrison. Last shot. Clock down to 5. Quinnerly drives inside, hands is off to Rivera as the buzzer falls off the backboard in, and that's how this first one's going to end. for the basket. Quinelli off the assist to Rivera to pick up her first points of the contest. That'll do it for the first 10 minutes in this one. West Virginia 18, Bowling Green 15, a 3-point lead for the Mountaineers after quarter number 1. We'll take a quick break and we'll bring you back for second quarter action. You're listening to the Bowling Green women's basketball team right here on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Falcon men's basketball welcomes Niagara to the Stroh Center on Tuesday, November 19th. Catch Falcon Media Sports Network's Tyler Kavelitz and Sam Morris at 6:45 for pregame and 7 p.m. for tip-off on Falcon Radio.
To listen to replays of recent Falcon Media Sports Network's broadcasts, tune in to WBGU 88.1 FM every weekday morning from midnight to 3 a.m.
BGSU graduate Jason Jackson from the Miami Heat here. Make sure to tune into the Zig Zone every Sunday at 4 p.m. on WBGU 88.1 FM, home of the Falcon Media Sports Network.
End of the first quarter here, about to begin quarter number 2 here in West Virginia as the Bowling Green women's basketball team taking on the West Virginia Mountaineers, the number 13th ranked team in the country. Welcome back inside the broadcast. I'm Lucas Conmeyer. 10 minutes are in the book. We'll recap some of the stats from that first 10-minute action for Bowling Green. Shooting 7 for 11 from the floor in that one. That's 63% from the floor. Had one trip to the free throw line. That was Nay Donahue. Was 1 for 2 for the line. Only one three-point attempt taken in that first quarter. That was taken by Paige Kohler early in that first quarter. That didn't fall. For the West Virginia Mountaineers, they're 7 for 15 from the floor, so 46%. The difference is from the free throw line, they've had 4 more trips, shooting 3 from 18 from the charity stripe line, have hit 1 from 3 from the three-point lane, and have found themselves in better looks. Harrison and Quinelli have been very good at bringing the ball up the court and finding open looks on the outside, but also in the paint for the Mountaineers. So far for the Falcons, leading the team in total points, Erica Porter with 6, but now picks up 2 personal fouls in that first quarter. We'll see how much time she gets. Second quarter back underway here for Bowling Green. It's Kohler, Moxie, Velasco, Ellis, and Donahue on the floor. West Virginia comes back the other way to start this one. This one finds Thomas, and that one gets the fall. So now 20-15 West Virginia. You look at the turnovers, 5-2 Bowling Green. 7 points off the turnovers for West Virginia, only 2 for Bowling Green. 14 points in the paint for each of them. Velasco. Out to the right wing for Kohler. First offensive possession for Bowling Green. That shot left no good. Rebound for West Virginia, and a full head of steam as Quinelli come back the other way. And that foul is going to be called on Donahue. So that's going to be John A. Donahue's second personal foul. So already for Bowling Green, got themselves in a couple of foul troubles. So Donahue's going to check out. And for the first time this game, Cristiano Kulachkovska will check in for the Falcons. Kulachkovska has played 3 games this year, total 25 minutes. 2 from 3 from the floor, checking in for Donahue in this one. That one tipped away from Moxie as Shaw was looking to find them underneath. Here's Velasco coming back the other way for the Falcons. Velasco drives inside. Velasco hands him off the court to left wing. A lot of contact off the ball with Quinelli, and Velasco, nothing called. Kohler to the right wing. Guarded by Shaw. Now Kohler moves inside with the left. Kohler now getting double teamed. Kohler trying to hand this one off to Velasco, and does. Gets tripped up. No foul called still Now Kulachkovska goes to the floor, nothing called. Velasco gets one off, shot clock down to 2. That shot too much there. Kulachkovska trying to keep this one in play. Couldn't do that one. Shot clock will expire. And an empty possession cut up for Bowling Green. 20-15 West Virginia. 8:35 left to play here in the second quarter. The physicality seems to have picked up a little bit in this one. Here's Quinarelli driving to the rim. Can't get that one to fall. Kulachkovska comes away with the rebound. Here's Velasco. Top of key to the right key to Kohler, and a call is going to be whistle called. We'll see who they get for West Virginia. It was on. Velasco was the victim on that foul. That'll be on Thomas. That'll be her second personal foul as well. Velasco inbounds to Moxie underneath the rim. Moxie, tough shot there. Moxie, that one rolls in and out so close for Moxie and the Falcons. Harrison, Watson, who's inside. Watson pump fakes underneath the rim, kicks it outside. Rivera, top of the key, a three-pointer on the way from Quinarelli. That one no good. Rebounder couldn't hold it in for Moxie. Rivera comes away with it. The Mountaineers will reset. Out to the right when Quinarelli drives inside. A lot of contact underneath the rim, and Quinarelli gets that one to fall. And one. J.J. Quinarelli. Make it now up to 6 points in this game. A foul is going to be called on Moxie. Be a personal foul, so Quinarelli has a chance to make it a three-point play for West Virginia. That one ricochets in and out on the basket, so it stays 22-15 Bowling Green. Little full court press for West Virginia. Here's Velasco. Able to break the press and gets into the offensive end. Velasco out to the left wing. Lauren Gherkin has checked in for Bowling Green for the first time this game. A three-pointer attempt for Velasco, no good. Gherkin comes away with the rebound, puts that one up, no good. Trying to reach in for that one. Christiana Kulachkovska trying to reach in and grab that ball. They're saying she got a little too much of a Mountaineer. She'll be called for the foul. Here's Rivera back the other way for West Virginia. Harrison looking underneath the basket for a Mountaineer. We'll see. That was actually more for West Virginia. That one was off her hands. But remain Bowling Green ball regardless. Ellis guard double team has that one knocked out of her hands by Woodley. So 5 on the floor, Velasco, Gherkin, Kohler, Ellis, and Kulachkovska. Kohler's bounce pass to Velasco is off her foot and into the hands of Shaw. So a turnover from Bowling Green again. Rivera inside, working on Gherkin. Rivera works inside the post, turnaround shot there off the backboard and falls. 24-15, West Virginia leads, extends to 9. We have 6:45 left to play here in the second quarter. Kohler works inside, a lot of contact on by Woodley. Woodley will be called for the foul. You see West Virginia coming up with that high press. They've created a lot of turnovers, a lot of points off turnovers. So far this one, they're trying to do so again. Velasco. Trying to get Bowling Green's first points in quite some time. Velasco out to the right wing to Gherkin. Gherkin gets that one. Gherkin to Velasco. Velasco drives. Velasco, a little floater for the mid-range. Velasco gets that one to fall for right. Velasco now up to 4 points. 24-17 West Virginia. Here come the Mountaineers the other way. A three-pointer attempt on the way from Shaw. That one is a little bit too much. It was in the hands of Woodley. but it goes out of bounds, and Bowling Green will take over again. Woodley will check out. Coming back in this one, or actually I should say, checking in for the first time for the Mountaineers is number 22, Zaya Nugget. Different Mountaineers seeing action so far on this one. There's a number 13 ranked team looking to go 5-0. Velasco up the court for Bowling Green, down by 7, 24-17. Ellis works inside, drives to the paint. Ellis there, a little too much on that shot off the backboard and no good. Here comes Harrison. Harrison dribbles inside. Harrison kicks it all the way to the right. Now all the way up to Rivera. Thought about three. Pump fake. Now works inside to Ellis. Rivera high octane shot there. No good. Ellis couldn't hold into the rebound. The last touch off Rivera. It'll be Bowling Green possession. Velasco. Clutch Costa trying to get this one to Velasco. Almost foul. But a travel called on Velasco. Had to work back for that one. And a turnover once again for Bowling Green. So more inbound this one for Bowling Green. That's now 8 turnovers for Bowling Green to just 4 for West Virginia. Here's Nugget to the left wing. Inside to Moore. Moore feeds this one inside to Rivera. Rivera back to Moore. And Moore gets that one off the glass and in. (26-17), a 9-point lead now for West Virginia. Ellis, Kulachkowska. Velasco moves inside trying to find Gherkin and does. Gherkin has that one blocked initially and it gets her own rebound and gets that one to fall through the contact and it cuts the lead down to 7. That's her first point. Harrison. Rivera, top of the key, now to the left Nugget. Guarded by Kulachkowska. Nugget drives inside the ring. Couple of contact there. And Kulachkowska takes the charge and earns the foul. And Bowling Green will take over. So a good defensive stance for the orange and brown. As we are now under 5 minutes, which means we've reached our immediate timeout. We have 4:38 left to play here in the second quarter. Defensive stop for Bowling Green. We'll see if they can turn it into momentum. West Virginia lead by 7, 26-19 in favor of the Mountaineers. This timeout on the floor is sponsored by Juniper Brewing Company, 145 South Main Street in downtown Bowling Green, featuring coffee and craft beer, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You can see the latest menu at juniperbrew.com. So timeout on the floor. We'll take it with them. 26-19 West Virginia. You're listening to BGSU Women's Basketball here on WBGU 88.1 FM. Interested in joining Falcon Media Sports Network? If you're looking to get involved, send an email to sports@bgfalconmedia.com.
On October 4th, 2024, BGSU volleyball opposite hitter Lauren Hovey recorded her 115th career service ace in BG's comeback reverse sweep of Western Michigan, passing Paige Penrod for the most in program history during the rally scoring era. Falcon Media Sports Network's Chaz McNeil had the call of the historic moment on WBGU 88.1 FM.
And that will make history. Lauren Hovey's 115th ace in the rally scoring era is in the history books as the Stroh Center applauds.
This has been a Falcon Media Sports Network featured call.
BG Authors is a campus organization dedicated to highlighting authors connected to the university. BGSU has produced some amazing authors, including Beth Macy, James Baldwin, and Tim Conway, to name a few. Visit bgauthors.com and subscribe to the blog that regularly updates on new releases, classics, non-BGSU authors, and other features such as book versus movie. That's BG Authors at bgauthors.com.
One of the most historic arenas in all of NCAA basketball. A lot of big games have been played here. You look around at all the alumni here in West Virginia. Back here with 4:38 left to play here in the second quarter, 26-19 Mountaineers, a 7-point lead. The Falcons got a defensive stop and looking to capitalize and start on a run. This was close, and in the first 18-15, been a physical game in this one. As Velasco inbounds this one all the way up to Ellis. Back to Velasco. Velasco, Kohler to the right wing, back to Ellis. Ellis again, a double team trying to hand this one off. Double dribble is going to be called on Taya Ellis, trying to hand that one off. Porter still leads the Falcons in points. Haven't seen her yet. The second quarter has 2 personal fouls. Kohler and Velasco each have 4. Because West Virginia back the other way. Rivera going to try D3. Rivera drains that one from downtown. CC Rivera has the lead up to 10 for West Virginia. 29-19 Mountaineers with 4 minutes to play in the second. Here's Velasco to the right. Velasco dribbles top of the key to the left to Gherkin. Now Kulachkovska to Kohler. Ellis inside the paint, has that one knocked away from her hands and stolen from Quinerly and West Virginia. Here comes Quinerly. Quinerly works inside now to the charity stripe, hands it off to Harrison. Top of the key, Rivera beyond the arc. Rivera pass inside, that one falls behind Gherkin. That was good from Moore. See some more. Another turnover from Bowling Green, and they almost created another one. Kulachkovska had to come back with that ball as Sydney Shaw almost intercepted it. 31-19 West Virginia with 3:09 left to play here in the first. Velasco. Ellis. Down to 3 minutes here in the second quarter, 31-19 West Virginia. Velasco dribbles inside. Looking for an option. Velasco, Kohler. Paige Kohler's going to try a 3 from long range. That one is no good. And rebounded held in from Rivera. Here comes Quinerly. Quinerly out to Harrison. Harrison thought about 3. Kulachkovska comes to her defensively. Harrison back to Rivera. Rivera works inside. Rivera tries to move. Swat it down from Ellis, but a foul is going to be called on Rivera as Kulachkovska hit the floor. So that's going to be ZC Rivera's first personal foul. That's another big foul. That was one from Kulachkovska. Checking in for the first time this game is Jasmine Fern for Kulachkovska. Velasco. To Gherkin. Long pass to Fern. Fern to Velasco. Velasco, nice little spin move, nice bounce pass to find Kohler. That one swatted by Moore behind the basket. Good defensive play from West Virginia, but Bowling Green still takes over. Velasco trying to find Gherkin too much there, and that ball is going to be out of bounds. Gherkin and Velasco there just not quite on the same page, so another turnover. Here's Harrison up the floor for West Virginia. Quinerly to the right. Here's Quinerly. Quinerly tries a deep 3. Quinerly knocks it down. J.J. Quinerly, another big 3 for the Mountaineers, and their lead extends to 15. 34-19 West Virginia, under 2 minutes to play here in the second. Velasco. Thought about a 3. Velasco hands one off the page. Kohler. Kohler dribbles right. Kohler hands it one off to Fern. Travel called on Kohler. Turnovers have been the story for Bowling Green so far in this one, and empty possessions. 12 turnovers now for the Orange and Brown, 6 for West Virginia. The points off of turnovers have been huge for West Virginia. 19 points off turnovers. Here comes West Virginia. Shaw, a deep three from the left. That one no good. Held in from Velasco. Here comes Velasco. It's been an 8-0 run for West Virginia in the last near 3 minutes. A loose ball going to be in favor of West Virginia. Another empty possession for Bowling Green. Been 0 points for the Orange and Brown in the last 3 minutes and 30 seconds. 34-19 West Virginia. A minute 15 left to play here. Here's Moore. Moore back post. Moore. That one can't fall. As a Ricklet in and out. Rebounded from Ellis. Ellis pump faked and another turnover. Shaw picks it off for West Virginia. Threw your ball on the way for Harrison. Harrison drains it. 37-19. Under a minute left to play here in the second. The lead has grown significantly some more for West Virginia. What a quarter it's been for the number 13th ranked Mountaineers. Loose pass. Kohler couldn't pick it up, but it goes out of bounds. It will remain Bowling Green ball. 40 seconds left, 20 on the shot clock for Bowling Green, trying to get something positive for this one. Velasco has that one swatted away. Velasco out to Gherkin. Gherkin, mid-range shot there. Gherkin, that one off the mark. Rebounded from Harrison. Shot clock still on, separating 22 seconds. 25 on the clock. 21 now on the shot clock. 2 seconds separate. West Virginia will drain this one all the way down. Near the logo is Harrison. Jordan Harrison now moves inside. Harrison works on forward. Harrison with the left. That one rolls in and out. Moore can hold in the rebound. Seconds down to 1. Velasco can't put up the shot as the buzzer sounds. As we have halftime here in West Virginia, the number 13 Mountaineers with an outstanding second quarter has put Bowling Green in a massive hole. They're down by 18. 37-19 West Virginia, a big lead for the Mountaineers. That'll do it for us here for halftime. When we come back, we'll recap the first half and preview the second half. You're listening to BGSU Women's Basketball right here on WBGU 88.1 FM.
BGSU graduate Jason Jackson from the Miami Heat here. Make sure to tune into the Zig Zone every Sunday at 4 p.m. on WBGU 88.1 FM, home of the Falcon Media Sports Network. Hey, BGSU graduate Jason Jackson from the Miami Heat here. When I was a Falcon, there was BGRSO. Now it's Falcon Media Sports Network. Keep up with all BGSU sports news and action by following BG_FMSN on Twitter/X and check out BGFalconMedia.com. Hi, Ziggy.
For all BGSU sports news and updates, follow Falcon Media Sports Network on Twitter X at BG_FMSN and head over to BGFalconMedia.com.
Don't have time to tune into a BGSU sports broadcast? Falcon Media Sports Network will have you covered with live updates of home BGSU athletic events. To follow along, head over to @BG_FMSN on Twitter X.
Hey BGSU students, this is your opportunity to host your very own radio show or podcast. Get involved with Falcon Radio and quickly learn the skills you need to produce your own program. In 30 minutes or less, you'll be armed with the information you need to operate studio equipment, put on your own live shows, or recorded content. Students from all disciplines are encouraged to get involved and take advantage of this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to use world-class facilities to create your own podcast. Falcon Radio, for Falcons, by Falcons. If you're in need of affordable housing in Bowling Green, Falcon Media has got you covered with apartmentsforrentbowlinggreen.com. This website provides an interactive way to search for apartments, townhomes, and houses for rent in Bowling Green. Housing gets secured quickly in Bowling Green, so it's never too early to start your search for a great place to live near campus. Take the hassle out of apartment finding. Visit apartmentsforrentbowlinggreen.com. Brought to you by BG Falcon Media.
Halftime here in West Virginia. Over the Mountaineers have a 37-19 lead over the Bowling Green women's basketball team. An 18-point lead for the number 13th ranked team in the country. Welcome back inside the broadcast. I'm Lucas Kleinmeyer. Gonna welcome back inside one of our members in the Cooling Center on the campus of Bowling Green State University. Our board operator, Benjamin Cork, also a voice of our BGSU hockey team, also on WBGU 88.1 FM. Ben, we'll love to bring you in here for this one. It was a solid first quarter for Bowling Green, only down by a basket or so after the end of the first, but now in the second quarter, you find yourself down by 18. And if you look at the stats, the shooting-wise, it's not been great.
Yeah, Lucas, and I think it's mainly been those turnovers. 14 turnovers total on the game. I think it's 22 total points for West Virginia scored off turnovers. That's just a ton. Taya Ellis has 4. Amy Velasco has 4 of her own. And then those personal fouls are killing you as well. Kendall Moxie, Erica Porter, and Jania Donahue were playing pretty well until they picked up those 2 fouls. It pretty much just took them out of the half, kind of killed a little bit of momentum for the Falcons, and that's kind of how we got to that 18 lead for the number 13 team ranked in the NCAA.
Yeah, you bring up a really good point. It does really come down to those turnovers, 22 points off of turnovers, like you mentioned. And for Bowling Green, they created 6 turnovers, but the problem is they're not getting any points off the turnovers. You look at those 6 possessions, they only got 2 points off of those turnovers. So even when they are creating good defensive look, they don't seem to be knocking it down. What other things kind of stood out to you, though, in those first 20 minutes of basketball, Ben?
Yeah, I thought the West Virginia press was very effective for them. The full court press especially, they got the ball into the hands of Ellis and Porter and Donahue.
Yes.
They just weren't making the greatest passes in the world, and forced a lot of turnovers that way. And again, we're harping on turnovers, but 14 is a ton. And that's, frankly, you weren't able to get Kohler and Velasco the ball, and they're some of your best ball handlers as well as some of your best players. I mean, there's a reason that they're leading the team in points game in and game out. So I think finding Velasco and Kohler are going to be your keys to stepping forward the rest of the game, especially trying to break that press. We know passing is faster than running, so if you can get the ball to the hands of 2 of your best passers, I mean, that can only be good for you.
Yeah, Ben, and they're probably going to need to be, especially Velasco and Cole, are going to need to step up and have a bigger role in the second half and find them better, those open looks, because you mentioned the foul trouble that Erica Porter, Kendall Moxie found themselves in, along with Taya Ellis as well. You can't get into that. All your bigs can't get into that foul trouble in the first half, and we've seen this with Erica Porter this season, where sometimes if she picks up 2 quick personal fouls like she did in the first quarter, you don't see a lot of action for the remainder of the game. We didn't see her at all in that second quarter. She's only played about 8 minutes and 45 seconds as well. For the Falcons, they've shot 9 for 23 from the floor. It's 39%. And the second half, they were 2 for 12. So they only had 4 points in that second quarter then. Not the best you like to see for West Virginia? You mentioned what's impressed you a lot. Who are some of the players on West Virginia that's impressed you, especially on the offensive end?
Jordan Thomas has been one for me. Just her size is I mean, she doesn't have a lot of points, 3 points total, but just her size in there, she essentially has taken Taya Ellis and Erica Porter out of the game, especially with those fouls as well. She's just been a force in there. Obviously, Jordan Harrison and JJ Quinterly have been fantastic for them as well. I think it's the second half's going to come down to Kohler and Velasco and how well they're going to defend, how well they're going to pass, limit the turnovers. I think the first half ran through your bigs. I think the second half's got to run through your guards. Hopefully they can change something up and cut into that 18-point deficit against, like we mentioned a couple times, number 13 team in the NCAA. So it's a tall order.
Yeah, definitely a tall order. So final stats before we send it back out. Erica Porter actually leads the team with 6 points. Velasco and Kohler both just have 4, as we mentioned. Gherkin just had a basket. Moxie just has 2 as well, and just 1 point from down here from the free throw line. So offensive scoring going to need to pick up for the orange and brown. And for West Virginia, meanwhile, for them, Jania Quinterly, or JJ Quinterly, as she likes to be called, total of 9 points. Jordan Harrison, 9 points, as well as Cecilia Rivera, 7 points, as well as Sydney Shaw and more, also 4 points as well. And then you mentioned Jordan Thomas. She might just have 3 points, but her movement inside the paint has created so much trouble for Bowling Green on their defensive end, and she's been able to create a lot of open looks and open lanes for her teammates as well. One last question for you, Mr. Korak, before we send this one off. What's the mentality going into the second half of your head coach, Fred Shamil? What are you telling this team in the locker room? You're finding yourself down by 18 against a very good team. What do you kind of come out towards in the second half? What do you look to build on for the final 20 minutes?
You know, I hate to keep harping on it, Mr. Kleinmeyer, but I think playing clean. You play without fouls, you play without turnovers. It's a completely different game. That's 22 points that you've given West Virginia off of your turnovers alone, and you've taken some of your best players of the game off the floor with your foul trouble. So you keep the girls that you want on the floor. You limit the amount of turnovers. You play clean, and it'll at least tighten the game up and maybe swing it at the end of the day, especially if you get into the hands of Kohler and Velasco.
Definitely agree as well. That'll do it for us here for our halftime report. We are just about 5:30 left to go here at halftime before we begin second half action. The Falcons have a mountain to climb here in the Mountain State. 37-19 West Virginia. Before we send it back off, want to give a big shout out to Ben Korak in the board op room, along with Nicholas Winholtz, one of our freshman videographers and members as well, for pushing the buttons and keeping myself on the air here in Morgantown. And also here to preview our volleyball tournament coming up here this weekend. The BGSU volleyball team won the MAC regular season title. Therefore, they host the entire tournament at the Stroh Center this Friday, Saturday, and the championship game Sunday. Our voice of volleyball, at least one of our two voices, Benjamin Korak and Chaz McNeil, will be on the call along with Andrew Smith as well. They'll have coverage all weekend long, not just Bowling Green semifinal game, but potentially championship game. All the games for Western Michigan, Buffalo, Ball State, Toledo, and the rest of the games throughout the entire tournament. So that is something to look forward to for the rest of the weekend here. All the games can be found on WBGU 88.1 FM. When we come back, though, we have basketball action here. West Virginia and the Bowling Green Falcons here on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Looking for a BGSU Athletics talk radio show? Tune into the Zig Zone every Sunday at 4 p.m., where a panel of Falcon Media Sports Network members discuss the hottest BG sports topics. Only on WBGU 88.1 FM. In Bowling Green football's 41-17 season opening victory over Fordham on August 29th, junior Justin Pace set a program record with a 100-yard kickoff return touchdown on the first play of the game. Falcon Media Sports Network's Reese Patricus had the call on Falcon Radio.
Go back up and field it on the goal line. Trying to take it to the right, got some blocks, got a hole. Peg was down the far sideline. and he's got space in front of him. 10, 5, touchdown BG brings back the opening kickoff. What a way to start the season.
This has been a Falcon Media Sports Network featured call. On September 13th, BGSU men's soccer's Bennett Painter scored the game-winning goal against Northern Illinois, leading to the team getting nationally ranked. Falcon Media Sports Network's Lucas Kleinmeyer had the call on the WBGU PBS YouTube channel.
Gonna win that one initially. Head up again. Wins the second one, however. Back to lane, back to Painter. That one's blocked, gets it back. Painter! Bennett Painter paints another masterclass at Cochran Stadium.
This has been a Falcon Media Sports Network featured call.
Miss a BGSU sports broadcast? Head over to the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel to listen to past calls by Falcon Media Sports Network.
Falcon Media Sports Network is finally back on the road with BGSU hockey. Make sure to catch the voice of Falcon Hockey, Ben Korak, on the call for every BGSU game this season on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Back here, ready to begin third quarter action here, and West Virginia is the number 13 Mountaineers, 37. The Bowling Green Falcons 19. No secret, it wasn't a good second quarter, but for the Falcons, anything can happen. You can build off of this lead. Had a good first quarter, was a physical first quarter, only found themselves down by 3, had a good defensive stances, was able to get to the basket, finish down their shots, and still were able to keep it a close game. If there's anything this Bowling Green team can do, it's to come back from a deficit. This Bowling Green team does not quit. Down by 18, down by 15, down by 10, it doesn't matter the score. This team and head coach Fred Schumann will always show fight, and they'll come out here in the second half looking to come back and earn one might be the best win of the Fred Schumann era, but also one of the best wins in quite some time in program history. And we're just getting ready here to come back here for the second half action. We mentioned 37-19, Watson, Shaw, Quinelli, Harrison, and for West Virginia, Blackston, the starting 5 for West Virginia. Before we get to the starting 5 for Bowling Green, we'll take a quick break for station identification.
I'm BGSU graduate Jason Jackson from the Miami Heat, and you're listening to WBGU 88.1 FM, your home for BGSU women's basketball.
Back here for second half action. We are underway. Bowling Green starts out with offensive possession. Looking to start off positive. Donahue out to Kohler for 3. Paige Kohler from 3. That one off the front of the rim and no good. Rebound held in there by the Mountaineers. Trying to go back the other way looking for Blackston. That one last touch off of Porter. And he goes out of bounds. So the starting 5 for Bowling Green heading back into this half is Erica Porter finally back onto the floor for Bowling Green. Donahue, Kohler, Ellis, and Velasquez along with Donahue. As Porter and Quinelli collide underneath the basket. Porter's going to be called for the foul. Ball inbounds. The shot underneath the basket. Ellis there first to that. Ellis with the interception there. And a first defensive stance for Bowling Green. A steal there created from Ellis and a turnover created. Can Bowling Green build off of it? Here's Velasco. Velasco moves inside out to the right wing. Donahue has some space out to Porter. Porter works inside, working inside. Blackstein, Erica Porter down low. Erica Porter there. Tough shot. Can't get on the fall. Rebounded by Shaw. Here comes West Virginia back the other way. Long pass trying to find Watson and does. Watson kicks this one back out to Shaw. 37-19 West Virginia still. Under 9 minutes to play in the second. Donahue picks that one away and steals it. Donahue comes back the other way as Donahue has a full head of steam to the basket there trying to get that one to fall. And it's touched out by Watson from behind. A Mountaineer hit the floor on that fast break, so left a 2-on-1 for Bowling Green with Donahue and Kohler. Donahue like to go herself. This ball inbounds to Porter. And the foul is going to be called on West Virginia. Blackstein will be called for the foul. This will be her first personal foul of the game. Here's Velasco. Inbound to Porter. Porter works inside on Blackstein there, and a foul once again going to be called on Erica Porter. So Moxie will check back in for Porter. And for Erica Porter, that's now her fourth personal foul. She's one away from fouling out. And we have 18 minutes and 30 seconds left to play here entirely. 8:30 left to play here in this one. Porter leads the team in points with 6 points, but she has 4 fouls. And a 3 ball on the way for West Virginia. That one can't fall. Shaw gets their own rebound. Blackstein gets the ball. Donahue crashes with the boards. And that'll be the third personal foul now on Donahue. It was a 3-point attempt from Shaw that couldn't fall. Blackstein crashed to the rim. Moxie, Donahue, and Blackstein were all grabbing for the ball, but they're saying Donahue just had a little bit too much here. Ball inbound. Harrison drives to the line. Harrison there, nice high arcing shot. Gets that one to fall. The first points of the half goes to West Virginia. The lead is up to 20. 39-19 West Virginia. 8:01 left to play here in the third quarter. Here's Velasco. Velasco has that one knocked out of her hands by Quinelli. For Bowling Green total.
That's not your argument. If you want to say that wasn't it, I'll say it.
It's 19 points throughout this one. Ellis. Velasco. Out to Kohler. Bounce pass inside to Ellis. Ellis from the mid-range. Ellis thought about mid-range. Now it does. Ellis knocks that one down. Hits nothing but net for Taya Ellis in the first points of the second half for Bowling Green. Here's Shaw. Out to the left wing. Looking to find Blackstein there. Step out of bounds. So an empty possession from Bowling Green. Can this be a little bit of a building block, if you will? We'll try to cut back in this one. 39-21. West Virginia, 7:42 left to play in the third. Here's Donahue. Donahue drives to the basket, full head of steam. That one poked away from Harrison from behind. Bowling Green takes over. Kohler inbound this one here to the left, near the Bowling Green bench. Kohler. Ellis, top of the key. Ellis drives inside. Taya Ellis finds Moxie underneath the rim. Moxie, a lot of contact. Moxie finishes there with the contact off the glass today. Kendall Moxie, her first points of the second half. Make it now 39-23. Bowling Green lead cut down to 16. Watson. Out to Quinelli. Quinelli drives to the right. Quinelli there. A lot of contact on Ellis, as Ellis will foul Quinelli there, and she'll go to the free throw line. Timed her jump just a little bit late there. A nice move from Quinelli. So fast with the ball in her hands, Quinelli. And also just a little bit late. Quinelli was the 2024 Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year last year. She's a 2-time Big 12 first team and a 2-time Big 12 defensive team. Her first attempt from the line is good. She's up to double digits now, 10 points, looking to get to 11 to tie the team high with Harrison, and hits nothing but net there. 41-23, foul called, much to the dismay of Shamil. And Shamil storms onto the court with some frustration. And And a lot of contact happening underneath the rim, and this is going to be reviewed here for a flagrant, possibly an ejection. We'll didn't quite see what happens first. We'll take another look. I'll describe it to our listeners. Ball inbound. And I believe there was an elbow thrown from Sydney Shaw with Moxie. Going to the monitor to see if there's going to be something more on Sydney Shaw. So this will be a timeout on the floor. So they'll review this one to see if Shaw is going to get called with something more than just a personal foul on this one, as the Bowling Green bench is still very unhappy with that one. So we'll take a timeout on the floor. This timeout is sponsored by Juniper Brewing Company. You can find the latest menu at juniperbrew.com. So timeout to review this one. We'll take it with them. 41-23 West Virginia. We'll be back after this.
Looking for a BG Athletics discussion show? Check out The Swoop, where a rotating cast of Falcon Media Sports Network co-hosts talk everything BGSU athletics. New episodes are available every Thursday at 6 p.m. on the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel.
Hi, I'm Taylor Dyson from BGSU Men's Soccer, and these are my Falcon 4 teammates that I would like to have in the Hunger Games. The first one would be Brennan Graves, because he's pretty much built like a bear. He's a big guy. The second I would like Josh Erlinson, just because he knows all that wilderness stuff. He's good in the woods. The third one I'd have Trace Terra, just because he's a tall guy and he can reach a lot of stuff that I can't. And the fourth guy would be Mads Christiansen, because if we ever got in trouble, he would be the first person we sacrifice. Thank you.
Follow and engage with BG Falcon Media on social media. Find the handle at BG Falcon Media on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube for all sorts of content, including news information, BGSU athletics coverage, and feature stories from across campus. Enjoy specialty content such as full episodes of the local music showcase, Live and Loud. The coverage continues with BG Falcon Media on all major social platforms.
So back here, midway through the third quarter, or excuse me, early in the third quarter, 7:15 left to play here in the third, 41-23 West Virginia, 17 for Falcons. They're reviewing before we went off here for a possible ejection for Sydney Shaw. We'll see what the verdict is. West Virginia is still on the court, still haven't broken from this timeout. It was off of a free throw that the contact came. It was off the ball. Look at some of the stats from the team. Bowling Green shooting 11 for 27 now up to this game. That's good for 40%, while for West Virginia, they're still shooting 50% from the floor for 16 for 32. West Virginia, though, 4 for 10 from 3. If the Falcons have yet to hit from beyond the arc, they're 0 for 4 so far in this one. Taking another look at the monitor. There seemed to just be a little contact with the face with Moxie off the free throw line. So flagrant one in the NCAA rulebook is an excessive and unnecessary, not a legitimate play on the ball, or a hold or push from behind. That is the rulebook for a flagrant one. So we'll see if she'll get a flagrant for this foul, or it could be something more. They're still discussing it, because West Virginia is still on the court. They haven't been broken yet from this one. So we're still in this meantime. It looked like we were ready to resume play. Bowling Green broke from their huddle. Well, the officiating is still disgusting. And now I believe they have a verdict. As our official talking over to our scores table. Went over to our ESPN Plus. And she'll be ejected. So Sydney Shaw will be ejected after an appeared elbow and thrown. So Bowling Green will have 2 attempts from the charity stripe to cut back into the lead even more. Shaw is still on the bench for West Virginia. When you're ejected, you'll have to leave the locker room. Now she'll get up and leave. So Shaw's day is done. Shaw, 4 points, 2 for 4 shooting, and quarter number 2. So her game is done. So Velasco will take 2 free throws for the orange and brown. Velasco's first attempt is good. We'll see if Bowling Green can get some momentum going now with that one. Second attempt for Velasco is good, so 2 for 2 there, make it 41-25 West Virginia. So now on the court for West Virginia, Watson checks in. So Watson, Thomas, Blackstein, Harrison, and Quinnerly. Quinnerly will inbound this one. Donahue. Out to Kohler. So they finally resume action here with 7:13 left to play here in the third quarter. Here's Velasco, top of the key to Kohler out to the left wing. Kohler, long pass, looking for the alley-oop to Ellis. A little too much there. Ellis going to hold that one in. And a turnover, and Bowling Green into possession. Harrison dribbles inside. Harrison tripped up there. Nothing called. Empty possession for West Virginia. Velasco. Here's Kohler. Kohler to Velasco. Amy Velasco for a 3. Velasco hits it from downtown. Amy Velasco connects. Velasco now leads the Falcons in points with 9, 41-28 West Virginia. Lead cut down to 13. To the right, Harrison. Harrison now going to try a D3. Harrison over Moxie. What a 3. She knocks that one, get it down. Jordan Harrison now finds herself towards the top for West Virginia and scoring as well. And a 3 on the way for Bowling Green, and that one falls as well from the following end. Again, Amy Velasco creating some danger for Bowling Green as West Virginia finds Virginia down low, Thomas down low, a turnover for Bowling Green trying to build out their own defensive back. Now Blackstein's going to try from 3. That one is no good. Rebound held in from Ellis. So back-to-back threes made from Velasco, but a 3-point made now for West Virginia. Still has to lead up to 15, so a couple of 3 balls have been falling here in this one. Kohler to Velasco. Velasco inside Ellis. Ellis works inside. Ellis goes to the baseline. Ellis, travel called. She'll step out of bounds. And travel called. Empty possession, Bowling Green. Here comes Harrison and the Mountaineers. Harrison to Blackstein. Blackstein drives inside the left. Blackstein off the glass and in. Blackstein gets that one in the fall. So now 48-31 West Virginia. Lead back up to 17. We have 5 minutes left to play here in the third quarter. We've reached the midway point now. Kohler tries for 3. Paige Kohler. That one a little too much there. Rebound held in from Harrison. Harrison out to Quinnerly. Quinnerly inside. Quinnerly out to the left. Watson. Watson drives baseline. Watson underneath the basket now to the right corner. A 3 on the way for Harrison. That one no good. Rebound held in from Donahue. Donahue fights off the contact on Quinnerly to the right wing. Hands this one off, or doesn't. Now gives this one to Moxie inside the post. Moxie, that one can't fall. Rebound held in from Thomas. Harrison. And on the fast break, Blackstein with open daylight. Blackstein gets it to 50 points for the Mountaineers. 50-31 West Virginia. 4:09 left to play here in the third. Velasco Velasco puts on the moves, puts on the shot there with the right. That one off the front of the rim and no good. Upon the fake. And that one can't fall. So now, under 5 minutes after a back and forth score in action, 3:55 left to play here in the third quarter period. West Virginia lead is to 19, 50-31 to the number 13 ranked team, the Mountaineers. Media timeout on the floor, which means this timeout is sponsored by Juniper Brewing Company. You can find the latest menu at juniperbrew.com. Timeout on the floor. We'll take it with them. You're listening to BGSU Women's Basketball right here on WBGU 88.1 FM.
BGSU women's basketball travels on the country roads to face off against West Virginia on Tuesday, November 19th. Join Falcon Media Sports Network's Lucas Kleimeyer and Caden Knapp at 7 p.m. for tip-off on WBGU 88.1 FM.
On November 16th, 2024, BGSU Volleyball defeated Ohio in 5 sets, clinching their 7th regular season championship under head coach Daniela Tomic. Falcon Media Sports Network's Chaz McNeil had the call on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Picked up on the attack, Archinska off the block, saved by LaPinta. Over is on the attack is Hovey. The Falcons have done it. Bowling Green will host the MAC Tournament regular season championship returns to the orange and brown.
This has been a Falcon Media Sports Network featured call.
BGSU graduate Jason Jackson from the Miami Heat here. Make sure to tune into the Zig Zone every Sunday at 4 p.m. on WBGU 88.1 FM, home of the Falcon Media Sports Network.
Back here, midway through, now midway through, 3:55 to play here in the third quarter. West Virginia Mountaineers 50, the Bowling Green Falcons 31, a 19-point lead for the orange and brown. Welcome back into the broadcast. I'm Lucas Kleimeyer. Thank you so much for joining us all evening long. For our board operators in the studio, Benjamin Korek, Nicholas Winholtz. I was getting back underway here after this media timeout. The Falcons shooting 41% from the floor, now 13 for 32 for the Mountaineers, 20 for 38. That's 53%. Here's Harrison. First play out in the third quarter. A wide open layup is good for Thomas. 52-31. West Virginia, 3:35 left to play. Here's Velasco to the right. Velasco moves inside out to Donahue. Donahue to the left wing. Donahue. Screen set from Ellis. Gets it. Donahue now works away to the right. Donahue puts up an underhand shot there. That one no good off the rim. Into possession. Harrison comes back that way for the Mountaineers with a full head of steam. Harrison to Rivera. He's checked back into this game. Harrison. Quinnerly. Rivera out to the left wing now. Watson. Watson drives inside. Thomas. Harrison. Shot clock down to 5 for West Virginia. Bounce pass to the left corner. Watson for 3, and Watson drains it. 55-31 West Virginia. Kaya Watson hits from downtown again. Watson up to just now 4 points. Bowling Green on the fast break. Kohler shot there, that no good. Rebounded from Watson. Harrison. Rivera. Quinnerly. She'll try three. Quinelli ricochets in and out. Porter with a good defensive rebound from the fifth-year forward. Donahue. Nice spin move over to avoid the attempted steal from Quinelli. Velasco. Bounce pass. Taya Ellis out to the left. Donahue. Donahue. Screen set from Ellis. Donahue. Hands one off to Velasco. Velasco. Whistle blown. Foul's going to be called on Harrison. That'll be Harrison's second personal foul of the game. Kohler, inbound to Velasco. Now Velasco for three. Amy Velasco connects from downtown. Her third three-pointer of the night. 15 points now for the Centerville, Ohio native. She'll be in contention for a BG Falcon Media Food and Drink Guide Player of the Game. Here comes West Virginia that way. Harrison now into the left corner. A three-pointer for JJ Quinelli. That one ricochets in and out. And a rebound held in from Velasco. Velasco and the two number 10s, Kohler and Harrison, battling off the ball, and Harrison's going to be called for the foul. This is going to be Harrison, her now third personal foul of the game. Kohler inbounds to Velasco. Kohler bounce pass to Donahue. Donahue top of the key, feeds this one to Ellis. Ellis inside, trying to get that one. That was the last touch off of Ellis. Good defensive play from West Virginia. The Mountaineers take over. 55-34 West Virginia with a minute 11 left to play here in the third quarter.
And that is 20.
Here's Watson. Rivera. Inside, loses the ball. Initially, Velasco knocks it away. Ball on the floor. Picked up from Porter. And so as turnover by Bowling Green. Donahue fights off the pressure from Quinelli. That shot can't fall. A lot of contact there as a Mountaineer hit the floor and ran into the cheerleaders. And a foul is going to be called on a Mountaineer. Everyone's unhappy right now. You have the Shamil talking to the officials about something. You have the West Virginia home crowd unhappy about the call as well. Donahue taking the call from Quinelli. Donahue was 1 for 2 from the line before this one. Donahue's first one is good, 55-35. Lead cut down to just 20. Donahue's second attempt. Ricochets in and out. No good. Last one off. We're going to say a Falcon. That'd be West Virginia ball. So here come the Mountaineers back the other way. Quinelli. Under 40 seconds left to play here in the third quarter. Shot clock still on. Three-point on the way from Watson. That one ricochets off. Last touch off a Mountaineer. Very smart play there from Erica Porter. Falcons take over. 32 seconds left here in the third. Porter Velasco. A little bit of pressure for the Mountaineers. Here's Kohler. Get the screen set initially. Velasco out to the left now. Donahue for three in the corner. Donahue, that one no good. Rebound held from Watson. Shot clock is off. Here come the Mountaineers. Harrison. Harrison will take her time with this one. Clock down to 5. Harrison down to 3. Harrison moves to the right. Harrison taking herself into the corner. Three ball on the way as the buzzer sounds. That one is no good. The attempt there from Watson won't fall. And in the third quarter here, we have 10 more minutes left of basketball to be played here in West Virginia. The number 13 nationally ranked Mountaineers have a 20-point lead over the Falcons, 55-35. We'll take a quick break and we'll bring you the fourth quarter action coming up here on WBGU 88.1 FM.
On November 1st, 2024, BGSU men's soccer defeated nationally ranked Western Michigan for the first time in a decade. Falcon Media Sports Network's Lucas Kleinmeyer was on the call on the WBGU PBS YouTube channel.
History has been made here at Cochran Stadium for the first time in 37 regular season matches for the Western Michigan Broncos, and for the first time in a decade, the Bowling Green Falcons take down the Western Michigan Broncos by a final score of 3-0 here at Cochran Stadium. Wow!
This has been a Falcon Media Sports Network featured call. On October 26, 2024, BGSU cornerback Jordan Oladokin snagged 2 interceptions, including a pick 6, in BG's 41-26 win over rival Toledo. Falcon Media Sports Network's Reese Patricus was on the call on Falcon Radio.
Minute 13 left to go. Ball picked off. Jordan Oladokin. He's got Green in front of him. Jordan Oladokin. 10-5. Touchdown Bowling Green. Ball game. 41-26, Bowling Green wins this year's edition of the Battle of I-75 up here in the Glass Bowl.
This has been a Falcon Media Sports Network featured call.
Back here, ready to begin fourth quarter action here in West Virginia. The Mountaineers 55, the Bowling Green Falcons 35, so a 20-point lead for the Mountaineers, but we'll see what Bowling Green can do coming out of the break. Some updates going on our sister station in Falcon Radio. If you were to tune in there, Tyler Kavalitz and Sam Morris have the call on Falcon Radio, where our men's team is playing Niagara right now. This is 52-48. According to Google for me, I know our bank correct fed me the score, but I already forgot about it. So, right now it says a 4-point lead for the Orange and Brown. Now make it 60-48. So a 12-point lead actually for Bowling Green. So a pretty heavily lead for the Orange and Brown, and Todd Simon trying to get their second win of the season. So back to the action here. First attempt here for the Mountaineers is good. Rivera with the first basket of the fourth quarter for herself and for the Mountaineers, 57-35, West Virginia. Velasco will start this possession for Bowling Green. Donahue has that one poked away from behind. It will remain Bowling Green ball, as Lauren Gherkin will check into this one for Erica Porter. Velasco inbounds to Donahue with 6 on the shot clock. Velasco, shot clock down to 4. Velasco drives to her left, puts on the brakes. Velasco gets it the funk ball, and Velasco has a chance to make it a 3-point play from the charity stripe. Tough shot for Mimi Velasco through all the contact, but still got that one to fall. She's up to now 17 points, which leads the Falcons. Trying to cut this lead down to 19, Orange and Brown, 57-37, West Virginia. Velasco, and she does make it 57-38. So now West Virginia. We'll come back again, and you'll see some more patience on the offensive end, trying to drain some clock. Rivera underneath the basket. Rivera off the glass, sent in, and Rivera gets that one to fall. So Rivera is now up to 11 points for West Virginia. She's in double digits. Kohler drives. Kohler has that one poked away from behind. And a whistle blown, and a foul going to go in favor of the Mountaineers. Paige Kohler will retire with that foul. Now 59-38 West Virginia with 8:33 left to play here in the fourth quarter. Rivera. Looking inside for Harrison, but Harrison there a little too much. I'm going to call for the foul. There's Rivera, top of the key. To left. Quinierly, top of the key, guarded by Velasco. Feeds this one inside Rivera. All the way to the left wing, Watson. Watson out to Rivera. And 3-second violation is going to be called on the Mountaineers, and Bowling Green will take over. 8:10 left to play here in this one. 59-38. West Virginia. Turnover for the Mountaineers, and that one from Quinierly couldn't get that one to fall. But a foul is going to be called. I believe they'll get Lauren Gherkin for this one. And it will be Gherkin as Porter will check out. So J.J. Quinierly, who has 11 points in this one, had a 2-for-3 trip so far from the free throw line, will shoot 2. And that first one falls for Quinierly. Now up to 60-38, West Virginia. Quinierly's second attempt. That one ricochets and falls. So 2 for 2 there for Quinierly. Now 61-38, Mountaineers. Porter. Another turnover, trying to get that one to Velasco, and that one's going to foul for Harrison. And West Virginia capitalizes again, 63-38. A nice little move from Harrison underneath the basket, but got that one to fall. Harrison, Watson, guarded by Kohler. Blackston. Harrison. Dribbles inside, guarded by Ellis. Harrison now, nice move to the rim. Harrison, oh, tough finish and off the glass. And gets that one to fall off the rim. Now 65-38, West Virginia. Harrison's been the showman for the Mountaineers. Velasco to Donahue. Donahue works inside. That one can't fall. Go into the hands of the Mountaineers. Works inside Quinierly. Quinierly there. A little too much action for the Falcons. And Quinierly will once again go to the free throw line, and they'll get Paige Kohler on this foul. So Quinierly, that one falls. Five for 6 from the line, make it 5 for 7 as their second attempt from the front of the rim is no good. 66-38, West Virginia. Velasco trying a long-range pass, blocked this from Watson, gets it back. Almost had that one stolen again, that time from Harrison. It will be West Virginia ball. Harrison. Inside to Oliveira. And inside to Blackston. Has that one up and in, and a wide open assignment underneath the paint. And she's got a one-way ticket to the basket. 68-38. West Virginia lead up to 30. Donahue out to Velasco. Velasco for 3. Amy Velasco. That one no good. Rebounded from Erica Porter there. A lot of elbows. Oh, Erica Porter there on the second bite. Threw a little bit too much there at the elbow. That'll be Erica Porter's 5th foul, and Erica Porter will foul out. Rivera grabbing her draw underneath the basket. Porter was trying to grab the rebound. And they're going to go to the monitor to review this one. So timeout will be on the floor because they're going to review this one to see. Well, regardless, Porter's gone from the game. It's her fifth personal foul. I don't know if they're going to upgrade to a flagrant or upgrade the foul. We'll see if West Virginia, though, will shoot free throws depending on if this is an ejection-worthy call. There was an elbow thrown there from Porter, so we'll see what happens here. So this timeout is sponsored by Junior Brew Brewing Company. You can find the latest menu at juniorbrewing.com. The West Virginia Mountaineers have a 30-point lead and are reviewing a possible flagrant foul for Erica Porter. We'll be back after this.
BG men's soccer standout freshman Raiko Bodurov is this week's Falcon Media Sports Network's Athlete of the Week. The freshman scored 2 goals in the Falcons' 4-1 victory over UIC in the NBC quarterfinals. He also put up a career-high 3 shots and 5 points against the Flames. In his senior season at Olentangy Berlin High School, Bodurov scored 22 goals, recorded 7 assists, and was named Ohio Capital Conference Player of the Year and an All-State First-Team selection. This has been Falcon Media Sports Network's Athlete of the Week.
Hi everyone, I'm Claudia Schmidt. Resist the empire of cacophony. Listen to The Folk Show, Thursdays from 6 to 8 p.m. on WBGU 88.1 FM, and also streaming at www.bgfalconmedia.com. Listen up, listen in, and enjoy.
Back here after this review here in West Virginia. So the upgrade the foul on Erica Porter, as you can hear the decision through the radio. Erica Porter is going to foul out anyway. Be a technical foul. Upgrade it. So that'll do it for Erica Porter for this game. Take a look at the replay on the monitor provided by the screen. Porter came for the rebound there and looked like an intentional elbow with the right hit the chin of Rivera. And then it happened again after the first time she made contact with her chin. Went with the right, but wasn't looking at Rivera, was looking towards the basket. So Harrison will shoot here for the free throw line. That one goes. 69-38 now West Virginia. Moxie will check in for Porter. Harrison's second attempt is good. 70-38 West Virginia, 6:34 left to play here in this one. Come the Mountaineers once again, Rivera. Inside looking for Watson. That one takes a couple of lucky bounces and falls in for the Mountaineers, 72-38 West Virginia. Kohler, Donahue. Blackstein will be calling the foul. Velasco inbounds to Kohler. Kohler bounce pass to Velasco. Velasco screen set from Moxie. That pass takes a deflection and goes out. .13 on the shot clock. Velasco inbound with 6 minutes left to play here in this one. Ellis. Kohler. Tipped in the air by Quinnerly and a turnover by Bowling Green. Quinnerly to the left wing, Watson. Watson drives down inside. Watson drives to the basket. Watson, one more count. Velasco there earns the foul. and takes the charge. 72-38 West Virginia. 5:46 left to play here at the WVU Coliseum. Velasco trying to run this one to Moxie. That one's knocked out of bounds. Donahue will take this one. Donahue up to Velasco. Velasco dribbles right, goes to the left, gets fouled. A little bit too much contact in there from JJ Quinnerly. Velasco out to Kohler. Screen set from Allison, screen set from Moxie. Kohler to the left wing. Paige Kohler out for Donahue. Donahue to the right wing. Velasco dribbles inside. Couple of touches. And Rivera picks it away. Watson. Quinnerly. Rivera. Blackstein. Hands this one off Quinnerly. Quinnerly there puts up a mid-range shot there. That one off the front of the rim. No good. Rebounded from Moxie. Here comes Velasco on the orange and brown. Velasco trying to get to 20 points for the third straight game. Velasco, backdoor pass, looking for Kohler over under. That one won't fall. Moxie can't hold in the rebound. It's holding from Rivera. Long pass for Blackstein out to the right corner. Couple of quick passing here from the Mountaineers all the way to the arc. They've worked all the way up to Watson to the baseline. Watson there, tough shot there, no good. Good defensive play from Ellis. Kohler. Yeah, up to 4:18 left. Donahue. Donahue pulls up for the mid-range. Donahue gets Bowling Green up to the 40-point mark. 72-40. Johnny Donahue connects from the mid-range. Down to 4 minutes left in this one. Blackstein. Watson. Dribbles inside, and the charge foul's going to be called on Blackstein. A little too much contact underneath the rim on Amy Velasco. So 3:50 left to play here in this one. Checking in for the first time for West Virginia is Daniela Arigabua for the Mountaineers. Here's Donahue. Inbound this one for Bowling Green. Donahue drives to the rim, puts up a tough shot there, and is fouled. So Donahue will go to the free throw line. Checking out is also Quinnerly, and checking in is Nugget, and also checking in for the first time at this game is Destiny Agubata and Daniela Aragababu. Donahue's first attempt from the free throw line is no good. Here comes Donahue's second attempt. Got that one to fall. 72-41. With 3:40 left to play here. Here's Nugent. Trying to find that one underneath the rim. Last touch off of Falcon. West Virginia will take over. Here's West Virginia once again. Blackstein top of the key, guarded by Ellis. Out to the right. To Woodley. Woodley finds down low, able to find Agaba underneath the rim. And Agaba is fouled. And checking in also for West Virginia for the first time tonight. Look at them in a moment. Is on the ball for the Mountaineers. Here's Nugget. Down low, Velasco takes the charge off the bounce pass from Fadilla Defna. He's checking in for the first time from West Virginia, and a whole change for Shamil for the final 3 minutes and 4 seconds in this one. Kulachkovska comes in, Gherkin comes in. Layla Harrison checks in for the first time. Emily Cecil checks in for the first time tonight. Jasmine Fern checks back in for Bowling Green. That's the 5 on the court to finish these final 3 minutes off for head coach Fred Shamil and the Orange and Brown. Don't go anywhere for post-game show. We'll have assistant coach John Nicolay give his thoughts on the game, and also our BG Falcon Media Food and Drink Guide player of the game, Amy Velasco. For the 3rd time this season, Velasco will be our player of the game, the defending MAC player of the week. Cecil will inbound this one to Gherkin. Gherkin to Cecil. Cecil into left corner, Harrison. Harrison dribbles, takes the foul. Sarah Willard did a little too much contact there on the freshman from Cincinnati, Ohio. So Harrison will go to the free throw line. It's in Mount Notre Dame all-girls school in Cincinnati. Her first attempt there is no good. Harrison's second attempt is good, so lead cut down to 30. 72-42 Mountaineers. Down to 2:38 left to play here in this one. Foul going to be called on West Virginia. Bowling Green will take back over with 2:34 left to play here in this one. There's Emily Cecil. Harrison out to the right, Kulachkovska inside to Gherkin. Lauren Gherkin works inside. Harrison. Harrison moves inside. Harrison drives to the rim and finishes with the left. Layla Harrison with a good bucket. Here come the Mountaineers. Here's Woodley, top of the key for the Mountaineers. Agaba outside to Defna, and Defna gets one off the glass and in. Defna gets her first points for the Mountaineers. 74-44 with a minute 45 left to play. Emily Cecil out to Gherkin. Jasmine Fern to the right to Cecil. Fern to Harrison. Harrison out right to Gherkin for 3. Lauren Gherkin, that one off the mark. Rebounded from Defna. Down to a minute 20. Moving inside there. Ms. Nugent. It should be fouled. Well, the Falcons coming up after this one, they'll drop to 2-3 on the year, and they'll head to Ohio State, so an in-conference opponent, another highly ranked team, and the Ohio State Buckeyes on Sunday at 1 p.m. We'll have the call, myself alongside Kaden Knapp on WBGU 88.1 FM. Emily Cecil will be called for a foul underneath the rim. First attempt there from Defna. It is off the front of the rim and no good. Her second one, however, is also no good. Took a couple of bounces and rolls off the rim and could get one on the fall. Cecil drives. We're down to a minute. Cecil kicks this one out. Harrison. Picking top for 3. Fern. And Jasmine Fern from 3. That one off the mark. Take it away from Nugget. Here come the Mountaineers the other way. Nugget, nice spin move. Nugget there. Oh, what a finish from Nugget. 76-44, Western Virginia. With 45 seconds left to play here. Harrison drives to the rim, to the baseline. A lot of contact there. She'll be fouled. And she'll go to the line. You mentioned this weekend the BGSU volleyball tournament, MAC tournament, is going to be all weekend long from Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But we'll have calls of all the games on WBGU 88.1 FM, including BGSU's semifinal matchup against opponent to be determined. We'll also have the MAC championship game on our airwaves on Sunday at 4 p.m. So something to look forward to for that one. Harrison knocks it down from the free throw line. Now 76-45. West Virginia down to 35. Moving inside, Nugget there on a tough shot. Be a foul called. And once again, be on Bowling Green. Be on Layla Harrison. It'll be her first personal foul. First one there is good. From Destiny Arobata. Her second attempt for Arobata is good. So make it 2 for 2. 78-45. Shot clock is off. Here's Cecil to Fern. Fern inside to Harrison, out to Gherkin. Gherkin tries a mid-range shot there. That one rolls in, and Lauren Gherkin connects. Freshman gets a good basket for the Orange and Brown, 78-47. As the Mountaineers will dribble this one out. That's going to do it here. And West Virginia, as the number 13 seeded Mountaineers take down the Bowling Green Falcons, 78-47 here in West Virginia. A big win for West Virginia, their 33rd straight win against a non-conference opponent at home. Their streak is still alive. And they move to 5-0 on the year. For the Falcons, they'll drop to 2-3 on the year and remain winless on the road at 0-3. Don't go anywhere. We'll have a post-game show here. Assistant coach John Nicolay joining us, along with our BG Falcon Media Food and Drink Guide player of the game, Amy Velasco. Final score here for West Virginia, 78-47 Mountaineers.
BGSU men's soccer capped off the regular season with 4 players earning end-of-the-season awards in the Missouri Valley Conference. Kyle Cusimano earned the MVC Defensive Player of the Year award, as well as a spot on the All-MVC first team, leading the defensive unit to significant improvement through the season that led the Falcons to 4 shutouts in the last 9 games. Forward Trace Terry earned his first spot in the All-MVC first team, while his goal-scoring partner Bennett Painter made the All-MVC second team, and they scored 11 and 12 regular season goals, respectively. Lastly, graduate students Alberto Anaya and Brendan Graves earned spots on the All-MVC teams. This has been 60 Seconds in Falcon Athletics.
To listen to replays of recent Falcon Media Sports Network's broadcasts, tune into WBGU 88.1 FM every weekday morning from midnight to 3 a.m.
My name is Jamal Johnson, number 6, running back in the senior, and here are my Falcon 4 favorite candies. First, we have Skittles, Sour Patch Kids, Reese's Pieces, and Hershey Kisses. And these are my favorite because when you're at Halloween and you dump out that bag, these are the best Halloween candies to pull out. So was my favorites.
Interested in joining Falcon Media Sports Network? If you're looking to get involved, send an email to sports@bgfalconmedia.com.
On October 4th, 2024, BGSU volleyball opposite hitter Lauren Hovey recorded her 115th career service ace in BG's comeback reverse sweep of Western Michigan, passing Paige Penrod for the most in program history during the rally scoring era. Falcon Media Sports Network's Chaz McNeil had the call of the historic moment on WBGU 88.1 FM.
And that will make history. Lauren Hovey's 115th ace in the rally scoring era is in the history books as the Stroh Center applauds.
This has been a Falcon Media Sports Network featured call.
BGSU graduate Jason Jackson from the Miami Heat here. Make sure to tune into the Zig Zone every Sunday at 4 p.m. on WBGU 88.1 FM, home of the Falcon Media Sports Network. Hey, BGSU graduate Jason Jackson from the Miami Heat here. When I was a Falcon, there was BGRSO. Now, it's Falcon Media Sports Network. Keep up with all BGSU sports news and action by following BG_FMSN on Twitter/X and check out BGFalconMedia.com. Hi, Ziggy.
Hi, this is head coach Daniela Tomic, and you're listening to Falcon Media Sports Network's coverage of BGSU volleyball on 88.1 FM WBGU, your home for all of BG athletics. Now let's get back to all the action.
For all BGSU sports news and updates, follow Falcon Media Sports Network on Twitter X at BG_FMSN and head over to BGFalconMedia.com.
Hi, my name is Belle Abbey from BGSU Volleyball, and these are my Falcon 4 favorite movies. Number 1 is Shrek, because it's iconic. Love Actually, great rom-com. Step Brothers, also iconic. And Princess Bride.
Don't have time to tune into a BGSU sports broadcast? Falcon Media Sports Network will have you covered with live updates of home BGSU athletic events. To follow along, head over to @BG_FMSN on Twitter X.
Looking for a BGSU Athletics talk radio show? Tune into the Zig Zone every Sunday at 4 p.m., where a panel of Falcon Media Sports Network members discuss the hottest BG sports topics, only on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Back here with our post-game show, BGSU women's basketball fall to them, our 13th ranked West Virginia Mountaineers. I'm now joined by assistant coach John Nicolay. Coach, thank you so much for taking the time to join.
Yeah, no problem.
Just starting off, Coach, overall thoughts on the game?
Well, we thought we really We really battled. We fought hard. Didn't question our energy or effort. West Virginia is a really talented team. They're, top 15 in the country. We knew we had a tall task coming in. We felt like we handled our business early in the game, and then we had some self-inflicted turnovers that allowed them to get momentum and kind of feed off of that and get the crowd going.
Yeah, and you mentioned the turnovers. That's obviously the one big glaring stat when you look at the box score. What did West Virginia do to kind of create turnovers? But also, what did you see on our end that we weren't doing that was giving the ball away a little bit too carelessly?
Their game is. They're going to press. They're going to press the whole game. They're averaging forcing teams into 35+ turnovers a game out of the first 4 games. So we knew the number was high. I felt like we did a great job, especially in the first quarter, of staying spaced, finding the available person, meeting the pass. We got in foul trouble, went to the bench, got a little fatigued, and with that fatigue, then the self-inflicted turnovers came, and you can't afford to do that against a team like this on their home court.
Yeah, and you mentioned how you guys had a good start in the first quarter. It was a close game. You guys shot the best in the first quarter. Kind of, what did you see in the first quarter? How were you guys so successful shooting, but also kind of what changed for the rest of the game offensively?
Yeah, well, I felt like we did a good job of trying to get downhill, attack, get to the rim. And when we were getting downhill, it was pulling the defense across. So even if we were getting a miss close by, we had somebody there. EP did a good job getting some offensive rebounds and stick backs.
Yep, and then coaches finally, next up, you got Ohio State, another big, tough non-conference opponent. Kind of what's the mentality going into this one? How do you kind of get the team right heading into that one?
Yeah, no rest for the wicked. We're not afraid to play top competition. We've told our team that these are the type of teams and games that you play in to get yourself ready at the end of the season. So for the NCAA tournament, so we're going to break down film, let them see some of the things that we did well, things that we can clean up, and be ready for the Buckeyes on Sunday.
Yep, Coach, thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, thank you.
We'll be back with our BG Falcon Media Food and Drink Guide player of the game, Amy Velasco. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to the postgame show on WBGU.
In Bowling Green football's 41-17 season opening victory over Fordham on August 29th, junior Justin Pace set a program record with a 100-yard kickoff return touchdown on the first play of the game. Falcon Media Sports Network's Reese Patricus had the call on Falcon Radio.
Go back up and field it on the goal line. Trying to take to the right, got some blocks, got a hole. Peg was down the far sideline, and he's got space in front of him. 10, 5, touchdown BG brings back the opening kickoff. What a way to start the season.
This has been a Falcon Media Sports Network featured call.
Start your day with WBGU-FM and Early Bird Oldies. Tune into Northwest Ohio's community radio station weekdays from 4 to 6 a.m. for classic hit music from decades past. Enjoy all the golden oldies you remember and stick around for local community news and entertainment with The Morning Show. Early Bird Oldies, broadcast weekdays from 4 to 6 a.m. on Northwest Ohio's community radio station. Wake up and get going with the music you know and love. Early Bird Oldies broadcasts weekdays from 4 to 6 a.m. and plays all the tunes you remember. Find WBGU on the bottom of the dial at 88.1 FM or streaming worldwide on bgfalconmedia.com. Early Bird Oldies will put a smile on your face and make you tap your feet. And it's only on WBGU, Northwest Ohio's community radio station.
On September 13th, BGSU men's soccer's Bennett Painter scored the game-winning goal against Northern Illinois, leading to the team getting nationally ranked. Falcon Media Sports Network's Lucas Kleinmeyer had the call on the WBGU PBS YouTube channel.
Could I win that one initially? Head up again. Wins the second one, however. Back to Lane, back to Painter. That one's blocked, gets it back. Painter! Painter paints another masterclass at Cochran Stadium.
This has been a Falcon Media Sports Network featured call.
Miss a BGSU sports broadcast? Head over to the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel to listen to past calls by Falcon Media Sports Network.
Hey there, BGSU graduate Jason Jackson from the Miami Heat here. Make sure to tune into the Zig Zone every Sunday at 4 p.m. on WBGU 88.1 FM, home of the Falcon Media Sports Network.
The BG Falcon Media Food and Drink Guide provides the latest food and drink specials from local restaurants. You can find it on our homepage at bgfalconmedia.com, or simply go to our top navigation, mouse over life, and click food and drink. We're back for one final time here in West Virginia. Join with our BG Falcon Media Food and Drink Guide player of the game, Amy Velasco. Amy, thanks for taking time to sit down with me.
Absolutely.
So just first off, Amy, just your overall thoughts on the contest.
Yeah, today was a tough one. Obviously, it was a tough one, so I think we just need to come out here and keep competing, keep getting better, and just keep going.
Yeah, but I think a big thing, obviously, with the turnovers, unfortunately for you guys today, kind of what did West Virginia do kind of to create the turnovers? What did you kind of see from you guys that mistakes you kind of might have been making that you're not used to making usually? What kind of did you see kind of going in with all the turnovers?
Yeah, absolutely. I think West Virginia is a team that really feasts on turnovers. It's part of their identity as a team, and we definitely had too many today. So I just think their press gave us a little bit of a problem. We were sped up a little bit, and that kind of resulted in some turnovers. So I think moving forward, we just need to stay composed and stay poised and don't let it speed us up.
Yeah, and then I think obviously the big positive to go away is the first quarter. You guys shot pretty good in the first quarter. It was a close game too heading into the second. Kind of how did you guys have that success to start the game early in the first quarter offensively to find those open looks, and then kind of like what changed throughout the remainder of the game?
Yeah, so I think they mentioned in the locker room that in the first quarter we shot nearly 60% from the floor. So I think we were getting the shots we wanted. We were getting open shots, and then we were able to get stops. So I think going into the second quarter we kind of had silly fouls, silly turnovers. We weren't getting stops, and that resulted in their run in that second quarter.
For you, 60 points. You're also named the MAC Player of the Week earlier this week as well. Kind of for you, what does that award mean for you personally? But also, kind of how would you kind of assess your performance tonight as well?
Yeah, I couldn't do it without my teammates. I mean, I'm 1 of 5 on the floor, so without them, I wouldn't be in the position that I am, and without the coaches trusting me, putting me out on the floor, and I wouldn't be able to do this. So I'm really thankful for the opportunity, and we're just going to keep pushing the rest of the season.
Yep. And then finally, Amy, you guys got Ohio State on Sunday. It doesn't get any easier. Another tough non-conference team. Kind of as one of the leaders of this team, what is your message to the rest of the team, and how are you going to get them ready for the Buckeyes?
Yeah, we just got to fight. We got to go out there, give them a fight, play hard, punch them in the mouth, and just keep playing, keep getting better every day, and we'll keep going through that.
Well, Amy, thank you so much for your time.
Yep, thank you.
That'll do it for us here in West Virginia. Here are the final score here from Morgantown. West Virginia 78, Bowling Green 47. The Falcons go to 2-3 on the year and suffer their third straight road loss. That'll do it for us here for our broadcast. Before we send off, I want to give a big thanks to Benjamin Korak, Nick Winholtz, Claire Saint, and all of our board operators in the studio. Thank you so much for putting us on the air and keeping us and pushing all the right buttons as well. I also want to give a big thank you to the rest of our Falcon Media Sports Network team and everyone who made this broadcast possible. That'll do it for us here. The Falcons fall 78-47 to the number 13 ranked West Virginia Mountaineers. Have a good night, everyone.
This broadcast has been a Falcon Media Sports Network production. For more BGSU sports news and updates, follow Falcon Media Sports Network on Twitter X at BG_FMSN, BG Falcon Media on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, and head over to BGFalconMedia.com.